there are two words when you're headed into a deposition for workers' compensation. Be prepared. Catherine Stone from Barbas Law is back to tell us why that is so important. Catherine, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I like this. Be prepared. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but I know that there's a lot of steps you're going to take us.
Right. Well, and I would say that when you're discussing in that initial meeting with a client, with an attorney that you intend on potentially hiring for your workers' compensation case, ask them, how much time, am I going to end up having to take a deposition? Do you think I'm going to have to? And then what do you do to prepare me for that? Because a lot of people have never been through a deposition. It is sworn testimony. You raise your right hand, you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And that deposition in a workers' comp case, unlike a lot of other areas of law, can be filed and then is presented to the judge of compensation claims. And why that's important is in workers' comp, there's no jury. It's administrative law, which means the judge is both the judge and rules of evidence and admissibility of documents. He's also the trier of fact. He's the one that's going to determine, are you credible? Are you trustworthy? Does he believe the story that you're trying to tell? And so I always tell clients that the deposition is the first time the other side gets to see you in person, gets to understand you, gets to see if what you say matches up with what's in the records that they know about you. And just overall, that first impression of whether or not they like you and whether or not they think the judge is going to like you. Because remember, the judge at the end of the day, if you go to trial, is the one that's going to rule in your case.
So I'm really going to kind of dumb this down and peel the layers away. But say you have someone's like, well, I watch a lot of court shows on TV. I know what to expect. I don't need to meet with my lawyer. The lawyer's like, yeah, you don't need to meet with me. Just show up at this time for your deposition. Definitely not what you want to do.
I would say definitely not. And it was just funny. I was reading an article that all the legal TV shows that are out right now, a lot of people are thinking that they're educated on how to be a witness or how to, participate in a trial, whether for themselves or for someone else. And like everything else on TV, not this show, but TV shows. There's an element of reality, but in the end of the day, it's not real. And, again, I think the attorney needs to be prepared and the client needs to be prepared, and especially for a deposition, and any deposition, really. You need to know what's in their file. You need to know what's in their personnel file. You need to know what's in all those medical records, because people do get nervous in depositions, and it's hard for them sometimes to remember maybe. Well, you are allowed as their attorney to go in and cross-examine them. Now the other attorney can come back and ask them, well, why didn't you remember this? But you're there I can't coach the client. I can't answer any questions for the client.
Yeah, when you're there, you're there.
You're there, and so you're on your own, which is why, I do go through a lot of the different areas that I think may be potential problems during the deposition, just to make sure that the client understands and knows what's to be expected of them, and then also to know what's in their file, and to remind you the doctor said this in their medical report, because a lot of times they never see those.
I'll say, so you're saying if you meet with the lawyer and they say, oh yeah, we'll just see it this time, definite red flag. I
would definitely say that.
That's good to know. Things that you don't think about, Catherine, you always bring to our show, which we always appreciate. And as always, if you have any questions about knowing your rights, just give them a call at 1-800-BARBAS-LAW or go to barbaslaw.com/knowyourrights.